Hello and welcome to the channel Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and these are my movie reviews. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. It is truly appreciated, and for my returning viewers, your continued support is, as always, really appreciated. So thank you very much. Now, the other week I actually re-uploaded a review to my ABC's of Horror because for some reason it disappeared. No idea why, but I put it back up there and it was A Quiet Place. So I figured, why not, for the finale of Monster Mayhem, check out A Quiet Place Part 2. So here we are. Now this one came out in 2020. Now A Quiet Place Part 2 is a gripping and intense sequel that successfully builds upon the tension and suspense of its predecessor. Directed by John Krasinski, the film continues the story of a post-apocalyptic world where creatures with hypersensitive hearing hunt humans who make even the slightest noise. So the film, again, because it is a sequel, it does have the original cast back. So John Krasinski is in it for a little bit. Emily Blunt, Millicent Simmons, Cillian Murphy, Noah Jupe, and more are in this. So it has an expanded cast. The original had 4 and maybe 1 or 2 more. This has a bunch more. So I will be discussing plot specifics and spoilers that do directly relate to both the first and this film. So if you have not seen either film, I highly recommend you check them out. They are both really good movies. So one of the strengths of this movie is the masterful use of sound and silence to create an atmosphere of constant unease. The sound design is incredibly effective, making every rustle and creak feel like a potential threat. The absence of dialogue for significant portions of the film just highlight this. It further heightens the suspense, allowing the audience to experience the character's desperate struggle for survival. And this comes through in the performances that the cast deliver. They are really exceptional. Emily Blunt delivers a captivating portrayal as the resilient mother displaying both vulnerability and strength. Now, if you recall from the first film, she lost her husband but gained a child as she gave birth. So in this film, she has not only to take care of a newborn, but she is looking after her daughter and son by herself and trying to get them to a new safe haven when their previous safe haven had been destroyed. Now there is a really intense scene in the first one where she's walking down some stairs and she stands on a nail. She can't scream and hence the lack of sound, but they redo this scene in a way with Millicent Simmons. You're seeing her walk down the stairs and you see the nail sticking up and you're dreading it. The suspense, the tension, it's palpable in this scene and my toes were curling just at the thought of it, and it's fine. But Millicent Simmons reprising her role as the daughter continues to impress. She gives a very nuanced performance and her ability to convey emotion through sign language is outstanding. Outstanding. I'm not sure what else she's been in, but I can see her going quite a fair way. She's very talented. Cillian Murphy, he joins this cast as a new character. He does bring quite a bit of depth and complexity to the story. Now, he is introduced very early in the film and he has a son. Now, when you later meet his character, this is 474 days since the initial occurrence. You know things have happened. People have died. People have lost people. Things have happened. This is 474 days of near silence. Like, you can't talk. You have really difficult communicating with people, especially in such an isolated area. So with what happens to him, I thought there is a scene in this where I thought they were going to go down a really dark path. Noah Jupe's character is exploring the steelworks, and there's a scene where he comes across the deceased body. It's just a quick glimpse of Cillian Murphy's wife who died 11 weeks previously. She was sick. We knew that, but her body is still there. And I thought they were going to go down a very dark path with this, and they did have the option to do that, but they didn't. So kudos to them. But it's just, and then when he's interacting with Millicent Simmons and trying to communicate with her, he does struggle because he's not used to enunciating his words. He doesn't have that experience. He doesn't know sign language. So he's learning, and he's coming more and more out of his shell. He's being more protective. And then they introduce, I don't know what these characters were. Like, they were scarred. They had bloodshot eyes. I don't know what had happened to them, but these were not nice people. And he is quite fearful for Millicent Simmons. He is protective of her now. Through a short amount of time, they've been through a lot, and they have that connection. Now, I don't think he's quite replacing her father, but I do think he's seeing her as, you know, someone he can protect, someone he can take care of. Like I said, the performance is really good. I can't deny them. The film itself, and this comes down to the directing, it not only maintains a heart-pounding tension of the original, but also expands the world and introduces new dangers and challenges. The pacing is well executed. The intense sequences are balanced by the quieter moments, which only enhance the tension, but also develop the characters. Cinematography and production design in this film contribute to the immersive experience of the world, and they capture the desolate and dangerous world therein with striking visuals. And one in particular which I felt really stood out to me is the train sequence. So there's a derailed train car. Millicent Simmons is standing in this hole that is left by the Death Angels. You can see they've left claw marks on it and torn this train car apart. And it just stood out to me. You see trains further down, great. It's just not so much the visuals, but the fact that through all this, there's minimal sound. That's what sticks out, and that's what drives these points home. Now, one thing that I did like about the special effects is you do see more of the Death Angels. You don't see a lot of them, but you see enough of them to get more of an idea. These things have elongated arms, they're fast, they're strong, they are deadly, they are well designed. The armor that separates from their head to let them hear sound, just a really well designed, and they don't look out of place. The CGI does not look out of place in this, which very rare for me to say, but it's near seamless. So, kudos. This is a sequel. Sequelitis is a thing. However, this is not a bad sequel. It is not. It is actually quite a good one. I think this is due to the fact that they've kept the original cast and director. So John Krasinski he developed a very unique style and way of telling the story in the first film. Writing and directing, he was in control. The same with this one. So he has that same control. He has that same narrative where he knows where the story is going. He does it perfectly, and that's why this works as a sequel. There is talk of, well, there isn't talk, they are doing it, of A Quiet Place Day One. Now, in this film, you do see a bit of the start of where the aliens come from, and I call them aliens, but we're never quite too sure. There is some sort of meteorite strike or something, but then there's an explosion in Shanghai, so you hear these things on the news, so you're not quite sure. There's talk of a military base, so the world itself, where these things come from, you don't quite know. They're probably going to explore that in the prequel. This movie does not need a sequel, though. I think A Quiet Place Part 2 rounds out the story of this family quite well. you know they have a way to get to where they're going. They have found a safe place. They can get there. Don't need more than that. You don't need to put the rest of them in danger to get them there. Like, they can get there, that's fine. Now, A Quiet Place is an undeniably thrilling horror film. It also explores themes of family, sacrifice, resilience. It delves deeper into the backstory, like I mentioned, of the creatures, and it provides those additional comments of the events of the first movie. And it does offer a satisfying explanation overall, at least for the overall narrative of this story. Could we see another family story in the future? Could they do a spin-off series? Yeah, by all means they could. But I think A Quiet Place Part 2 is a worthy sequel that delivers on the expectations set by its predecessor. It's got superb performances, expertly crafted tension, and it's an engaging story. I think this is actually a must-watch for fans of the first film, and if you love suspenseful films, it definitely is one worth checking out. So overall, I'm going to give A Quiet Place Part 2 7.5 out of 10. Now, I think I gave the first film, A Quiet Place, 8 out of 10, so this doesn't quite measure up to it, but it's pretty damn close. So there you have it. Thank you for watching my review of A Quiet Place Part 2. If you haven't already, please do like this video and, of course, subscribe to my channel for future content. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every time I do release a new video. I did put a little poll up on my community page regarding my 60-second reviews, which have been doing fairly well. I get a bit of a kick out of them. They're a lot of fun. They're quick, fast. I don't ramble on like I do in these, but they're quick reviews, 60 seconds of just random movies that I watch. Usually ones that are recommended by someone else. I'll check them out. You know, so there will be more of them coming. Of course, we're ending May, so I will be looking at doing something new in June. What's it going to be? Well, come back next week and you'll find out. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.